Rachelsey at the movies! Yay! Listen here, all you Rachelsey maniacs out there!
So we went and saw Fighting with My Family.
WWE film.
This is about a wrestler, a female wrestler, professional wrestler, what do you call that? I don't know. Sports
WWE Superstar Paige, who was super popular in her time. I just watched a special on her actually, and I guess she won the title 4 years ago. So anyway, she came on the scene. She was really popular, and she was popular with people because she came on the scene at a time when women's wrestling wasn't really thought highly of, and she was one of the women's wrestlers who could really wrestle. And so, what a interesting story in her life she had, and she's
from England.
Played an important role.
And her whole family, they're like all into wrestling.
It's English.
Well, but they're all into wrestling. So from the movie, that like they have their own.
It's their family business.
Yeah, it's what they do. Go wait or skip, Kelsey.
Yeah, I've been struggling with this question ever since I saw the movie, and I think I'm gonna say. What are you gonna say?
What does it matter what I say?
I just want to know what you're gonna say.
Tell them what you.
You go ahead and tell us what you say.
No.
You gotta go.
No.
I'm gonna say to wait to see this movie. I think if you're a WWE fan, you're probably already gonna go see it.
Yeah.
And so I think that while I enjoyed this movie, because Rachel and I are WWE fans, she's wearing a WWE shirt right now. I think that if you're not following the world of wrestling, that you won't really care about this movie. You won't. I think it does a decent job of showing what goes on behind the scenes. But if you're, a lot of people when they see professional wrestling, they make up stories about what professional wrestling is. And so if you're already going into the movie like, I don't like this, I don't think you're going to enjoy it because it's not like a masterful piece of art. Yeah. So I say wait.
I also say wait. So this movie, what was interesting is I didn't know like how well it was going to be done and things like that. We knew, you know, when it was advertised early on with WWE, that when it was coming out and stuff ahead of time. And then you said early reviews on Rotten Tomatoes kind of showed it being like in the 60s.
Yeah.
The day it opened, it had jumped up to the 90s.
Yeah. So
that was kind of surprising.
Certified fresh, y'all.
When we got done seeing the movie, I was like, huh, really? Like that high? So that's why I'm saying wait. I just don't think it garners that high of a... It was missing something. And so we talked about on the way home, like, what was it missing? But, like, to make it that big movie, you know, released at the theaters type feel, like, it was just missing something with that. I don't know if it needed more punch to the story, more drama, more... We even talked, we were like, well, maybe it was a score. Maybe because the score is something that, as a movie watcher, you may not, most of us, I don't, like, zero in on. Unless it's a movie with, like, you know, set in the 80s and they have all this 80s music or something like that. But, like, the score involves, like, a lot more. It involves, like, scenes when people are talking. All that background music is really important. And we were like, well, maybe that's what it was missing. We don't know what it was, but it was something. And I was just like, yeah, it was a nice movie to see, like, how this family, and it was based on a true story. At the end, so right when the credits start, they show you the real family. And they have video of, like, some of the scenes that happen in the movie of them really, like, it really going on. And so that was interesting. I don't know. It was just missing that extra, like, bit of excitement for me to be like, yeah, go see this movie. It doesn't matter if you're a WWE fan or not. You should go see this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just missing something.
For me, there's definitely a certain quality to this movie. It was a quality movie in that I enjoyed watching it. It was a good story. I thought that it was made well. The actors were good in it.
Yeah, it was cast really well.
There was something missing with some part of the production that left it feeling more like a really good Netflix movie. It didn't seem quite like a full theatrical release movie.
Yeah.
That being said, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed learning about Paige, whose real name is Soraya, I think. And her life and her family and kind of what she went through. Her story is a very interesting, good story with some universal values of like...
You could definitely extrapolate like out of this. So, you know, like the unique thing about the family was the wrestling. But like honestly,
that's just
families like go through like similar situations all the time. So you had like a, you know, sibling jealousy. But it wasn't just like superficial. It was really like deep what ran through in the family. and things they had to do, what Paige went through, you know, growing up and learning like who she really was, and she had to figure that out while traveling with NXT and wanting to, like, you know, move on to WWE, which is crazy.
Yeah, and that's one of the universal stories, like how Paige felt about herself in comparison to other people, and how ultimately she realized that she was special and important too, and just because she looked different than other people didn't mean that she couldn't be successful and also be herself and do that. So I really liked a lot of the messages of the story, and I thought the movie was good. I'm glad they made the movie. I hope it does well, because I think that there's a lot of interesting stories in the wrestling business. I mean, you and I are a part of a culture too. We're part of the boxing culture, which is different but the same. In that, like,
niche.
Yeah, it's a niche group of people, and if you're a boxing fan, if you're in the boxing community, you're one of us, and if you're not, you're one of them. And it's the same like that with wrestling, and maybe with all kind of niche communities. Maybe it's us versus them thing.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting look into that community. I really liked the Rock in it. Obviously, he was awesome because he's The Rock. Everybody loves The Rock. But my major gripe about the movie really was that in Paige's bedroom as a child, she had posters of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Where was your Hulk Hogan poster, Paige? That don't make no sense. Hulk Hogan is the most important wrestler who has ever lived. Yeah, I know he's had some, you know, issues here and there outside of his normal life. I'm talking about strictly wrestling. There would be no WWE and there would be no Paige without Hulk Hogan. So I know that you're one of our subscribers here, Paige, so I just want to speak directly to you for a second. Even if it wasn't in your bedroom, you should have put a Hulk Hogan poster in your room.
And everybody should like, comment, and subscribe, because it's important to helping the channel grow, and it's where we get all our value and our self-worth. So, you know?
So I mean, that's all on you, y'all. Our dysfunction is all on you. Are you already ready?
Yeah.